Okay, the camera is reasonably straight, the fan is not on, and I can see color. This is good. Wow, well that ending came very quick. Some basic blues on a 2006 anniversary Stratocaster, Fender anniversary Stratocaster from 2006. You know, it's a Stratocaster. What am I going to tell you that you don't know? This is one of those weird ones. This is one of those ones that my apology, I'm going to bump around because I have my bass in the way over here with an amp, and I got to move it. Anyway, I bought this. This was too much of an impulse buy. These were, I don't remember how much, $1,500 back in 2006, give or take 100 or something like that. I don't 1,300, 1,500, 60, I don't remember. More than I should have paid. It's a great guitar. It is so nicely, everything about it, and you know, I don't play it much, so it's pretty much new. It's one of those ones, it's a Deluxe Stratocaster in ash, and it's one of those ones with the push, hear that? Oh, you couldn't hear it. Only the first time. It's one of those ones with the push buttons in the volume knob, and that changes how the pickups are chosen using the 5-way switch. So it's a nice. Well, let's find some better tone. We'll cut right here. So where was I? I got a clean sound now, so we can. Anyway, it has this push button thing. I bought it on an impulse buy because of this beautiful color. They called it a honeyburst in the store. I don't know if that's what Fender actually called it or not. But it has that honeyburst look about it, not a straight Strat sunburst at all. And it really is nice. And we'll talk about that button here in a minute. But I like that they have, you know, the oyster shell kind of look about it. I think that's probably what it's called. Something like that. It's a USA made, and they did right in 2006 on these, because they put locking tuners on it, as all guitars should have. And I tell you what, I always figured locking tuners probably helped in tuning stability with the trim a little bit, and I'm pretty convinced it really helps in this case. You know, I mean, Fenders do pretty good on their own, but it just does not go out of tune. I mean, well, it will eventually if I keep hammering it, but it stays in tune better than just about any Strat I have. I don't know, although some of those made in Mexico Strats, man, those things stay in tune. So, you know, there's nothing to report here other than it's got a trim. It doesn't have a screw-in trim. It's got a plug-in one, you know, it really is firm, too. That'll put it out of tune. And you just push it in. And I kind of like that. You're not going to lose it, man. That baby snaps in there. Didn't put it out of tune. Sometimes on a couple of ones I've had, that had that sort of plug-in thing, you pull that out and it jiggles the trim just enough. You'll be a little. That's in tune. Good enough for me anyway. So let's talk about the button. The one thing I learned here is that Fender, I've always called, when it's in the bridge position, all my life I've called that the number 1 position, as have most of everybody I know. According to Fender, that's the number 5 position. So way up front here, way up top, pushed up, is the neck pickup, and that's the number 1 position, according to the sheet that came with the guitar. And it's standard without the button pushed in. It's standard, you know. Number 1 is the bridge. Number 2 is the bridge and middle. Number 3 is just the middle. Number 4 is the middle and bridge pickup. And of course, that number 5, number 1, is just the bridge pickup. We push this button in, and I've heard all sorts of explanations that it takes them from series to parallel. I don't understand that stuff. I don't know that it does. I think it uses a special, when you put it in that position in combinations, it uses a special capacitor built into it. And if I had to do it all over again, I would buy this exact same Strat without the push button thing, because I never use it. I don't like, well, let's try it, let's test it out. It changes the pickup configuration. Like there, I'm going from the bridge with the button out, it's just the bridge. And I push that and it becomes the bridge and the middle pickup. I'm just not that fond of the tonality of it. It just gives it maybe a boost with the little bass thing, because it's combining pickups differently. So let's talk about what it does with that button pushed in. And we'll go back to position number 1, as they call it on their sheet. And in that case, with the button pushed in, it is way up here in the number 5 position. It's not just the neck pickup, it's the neck and middle. And then in that number 1 position, I mean, it's the neck and middle. Number 2 is the neck and the middle, but with the special capacitor. The 3rd position, the middle position, is all 3 pickups. Yes, all 3 pickups. I have to be careful. In that number 4 position, down towards the bridge, it is the middle and bridge pickup with the special capacitor. And then in that number 5 position, what I've been calling number 1, normally just the bridge pickup, with the button pushed in, it's the bridge and middle, along with just the bridge and middle. In the number 4 position, it's the bridge and middle, but with the special capacitor. In the number 5 position, it's just the bridge and middle pickup. So one thing that's real noticeable here is with the button pushed in, there's no bridge only pickup. and there's no, with the button pushed in, there's no single pickup use anywhere. Each position combines 2 different pickups, and positions number 2 and 4 kick in that special capacitor. I don't know. When I played it in the store, the idea of that special capacitor, I could hear that tone and I liked it. And then once I got home after I played it for a while, I always call it out of phase. Oh, over here it says series connection, parallel connection, and then SC is special capacitor. Yeah. Yeah, so it does do something. I don't like the tonality of it. It to me, I call it out of phase because it sounds like it's out of phase in some way, and it's just not a tone. Yeah, it's not a tone I'm fond of. I'm not sure that I dislike it in every position. I don't recall, but I just don't use it. So I keep it unpushed, and I use it just in the old-fashioned. I can't tell you anything about the neck, like if this neck radius is different than a stand. It feels like a Stratocaster neck to me, sort of that modified. I don't know if they called it a C shape and an oval. On the last Reverend that I did, they called it an oval, semi-oval or something. And it seems to me that it's a C shape, but it's not a perfect C. It's not completely rounded. It's flattened down just a little bit. Very nice. Quite thin, easy for me in my old hands to really grip, and in fact when I grip it I can get my thumb over the top of that and do some thumb stuff there pretty good if my thumb's working. So that's it. That's the Fender Stratocaster 2006 anniversary model with the Deluxe Stratocaster with the push button. I don't even know what they call that. It's the switch and control function on the sheet that came with it. And interesting that I noticed when I get this, I could probably get online and maybe get more information. What I got with the guitar was this sheet, and I noticed down at the bottom, it shows all the pickup configurations. And at the bottom it says page 4 of 4. I never got page 1, 2, or 3, so maybe I'm all wet. Maybe through a big... a real powerful Fender tube amp, it would sound good. I have a little Fender tube in it, you know, with the button pushed in. With the button pushed in, I don't care for it at all. With the button out, it's a standard Stratocaster that I love the tone of and the playability, everything about it. So I will show you the back here. Man, I'm going to have to hack this video up. I'll show you the back here. It's got nice wood with that honeyburst, and it's even, they did the back panel with the oyster shell, and I don't remember, I don't know if this is a totally different little neck plate there or not. I just did 2 Strats made in Mexico Strats. I didn't pay any attention to them. That looks different to me. It's like a 5-bolt. Oh, and it's got that little hole in it for the, I don't know what they call that, the tilt-a-neck or whatever. Get you up close and personal here and see if let's see if we can capture the oyster shell on that. Yeah, and we'll give a picture of the headstock here too. Headstock doesn't say anything. It's kind of that raised looking Fender silver print, but it's not raised, it's underneath all the lacquer or something, so it's perfectly smooth. If you'd like, feel free to subscribe, hit the bell icon, give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, leave a comment. You know, I love to, I always answer, I hope I haven't forgotten anybody, I always answer on the comments and at least thank people. But if you have a question, do ask a question, and I will try to get an answer if I don't know it, and I'll get back to you, and we'll look it up on the internet, we'll call my local store, we'll call Fender, we'll do whatever we got to do. Let's see what we can find here. Do a little minor shuffle on the way out.